So in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet this cute little cardigan, and if you like to make it bigger or longer, you can add more stitches to your foundation row and more rows in every panel if you like it bigger. Okay, so this is a small cardigan. As you can see, it measures about 10.5 inches in the body and the length is 13 inches. And as I said, you can make it longer or bigger by adding more rows and more stitches onto your foundation. So let's get started. Hope you like it. So to crochet this cardigan, I'm using this weight 4 yarn and a 5mm crochet hook. You can use any type of yarn that you have with an appropriate hook to that, and you only need to take the measurement for the cardigan. Okay, so first we will start by making the chainless foundation of half double crochet. So I'm making this to be a v-neck type of cardigan, so I'm making about 8.5 inches with half double crochet and about 1.5 inch, or let's see how many stitches we will cover that. So first you will start by making your half double crochet, chainless half double crochet, 1, 2 chains, yarn over into that first stitch and make a half double crochet. So you release 1 and you release all 3 loops, yarn over and you release 1 and release all 3, and that is how you make your chainless foundation of half double crochet. So take the measurement. I'm taking up to 8.5 inches of this, okay, only with half double crochet. And for the ribbing part here, I'm using single crochet only. So for a single crochet, you simply insert your hook into the base of your previous stitch, pull up a loop, you release 1 and release 2, and that is your first single crochet. So I'm making about 8 here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, so 8 single crochet. Or if you like this part to be shorter, you can reduce the number of single crochets also here. So you chain 1. I always chain 1 for the single crochet part. For the first stitch here, you are going to make 1 single crochet through both the loops, and the remaining 7 single crochet here, I'm going to make them through the back loop only. So single crochet back loop, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th one here. In total I have 8 single crochet. So when you pay close attention to this part, you can see that there is a difference between a half double crochet stitch and a single crochet stitch. So if you pay attention to this one, you don't really need to use your stitch marker in this part. So, and if you still prefer to use a stitch marker, you can do that too. And for the rest, we are going to work half double crochet through the back loop only, like that, until the end of the row. So make your last half double crochet in this chain 2 here. So we are going to make an increase in this last stitch by making 3 half double crochet in the same stitch. That is 1, so 2, 3 half double crochet like that, and then you are going to chain 2 for the half double crochet. And this chain 2 is not a stitch, so you make another row here with an increase, 3 half double crochet in the first stitch, and then you are going to work half double crochet into each half double crochet until you are in this part. So when you are here again, if you look at the stitch, you can see the difference. So this will be your last half double crochet stitch, and continue with back loop only single crochet. The last one through both the loops, and you chain one again, and you start the row as usual. The first and the last stitch, I always prefer to do it through both the loops. I think it's more like secure, or it's just the way I like it. So if you prefer through back loop only, you can do that also, that's up to you. And you can continue again with half double crochet only, and make your last 3 half double crochet in this space between the chains here. So after your last increase here, take the measurement. I'm at 11.5 inches here, and I will need this cardigan to be at least 13 inches long from the shoulder, from the top part to the bottom part here. So I'm adding a few chains here to cover the remaining measurement. Okay, so I'm at, so let's try 5 chain first. 1 2 3 4 5 chains, and take the measurement if you like. Yeah, and less than 13, so let's make 7 chains, and 7 chains and 13 centimeters, so sorry, 13 inches. So you take the measurement in like that and add to the length of your cardigan, and then 7 chains for the cardigan, and then I'll do one more chain here as my turning chain, or if you prefer you can do 2 also, and then you make your half double crochet through the back bump only, 1 half double crochet into each chain that you made. And the last one here, you don't need to work it through the back bump only, because if you do only the back bump, it would turn into different way too. So you just insert your hook here and make your half double crochet. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, I have 7 half double crochet, and the remaining stitches you can do the same thing that we did the previous row, half double crochet, back loop only into each half double crochet, and do the single crochet, back loop only into the single crochet part. And then for the next row we start the same way and continue as usual. Okay, I will see you right here. Make your last half double crochet in the space between your first half double crochet and the chain, like that, and by the end of this row you can see that this has started to take the shape. So we can take the measurement from here again. Okay, you can continue working the same way, half double crochet into each half double crochet and single crochet for this part, without increase, just like how we did just now. And take the measurement from here. I would like this part to be at least, yeah, I'd like it to be at 5 inches from here to here. Okay, so take the measurement from the very first row here until you get to the measurement that you need. So here I have 5 inches as you can see, and we have an odd number of rows here. So your last row for this front part or front panel will be the one that you go to the ribbing or go down, and then when you finish this, when you get to this measurement, you are going to take the measurement of the armhole of the child. Okay, so I'm using a measurement of this one. So take the measurement. Do not take it like this because this has a slanting sleeve, so I'm just going to do that. It's 5 inches only. So put your your measuring tape like that and think I'm not going to make this 5 inches because that one cardigan, it has a slanting sleeve, so 4.5, because this will sit on the child's upper arm, so 4.5 inches, and put a marker to wherever that measuring tape ends. So put a marker like that, and then you can count the number of the stitches that you have in this part. This will be the opening for the armhole. So we need to count this because we are going to need to make the same number of chains to match this length. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18. So I have 18 stitches here. Okay, so you will start the same way like you started these previous rows until you get to the stitch marker. So make your last half double crochet in the stitch marker through both the loops, and then make the same number of chains plus your turning chain. If you have 2 chains as your turning chain, then make plus 2, and if only one, then make plus 1. So here I have 18 stitches. I will make 19 chains, and the last chain will be my turning chain. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and don't make your chains too tight. 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19, and this will be the start of our back panel. Okay, the chain is the start of our back panel. So you leave the first stitch or the two stitches. That if you use a two turning chain, you'll have 2 stitches and you work on the third. If you have only 1 turning chain, you will work on the second. So I work on the second stitch. I left this one, so just half double crochet into each chain the same way that we work on this front panel. Remember when you do this part, so you do the same way, back bump only, and on the last one here you just insert your hook and make it. So your last one right there, and then you continue working half double crochet, back loop only, and then single crochet, back loop only into each stitch. And again you will start the same way, and the repeat is the same, just single crochet, back loop only for this ribbing, and half double crochet, back loop only for the main part of the cardigan. Okay, I'll see you right here. So your last stitch will be in this space between your first chain and your first half double crochet. Like that, you chain 1 or you chain 2, and then you turn again, and we are going to repeat the same. And for the back panel also, you will have an odd number of rows when you get to the measurement you need. Okay, the last row here will be the one that you go down the ribbing. So we are going to take the measurement again. So since we have 5 inches for this front panel, so for the back panel I'm going to make at least 10.5 or close to 11 inches for this part. Okay, so you take the measurement again from your very first row here to your very last row of this back panel until you get to the measurement, and it's the same repeat again, just half double crochet into each stitch, back loop only, and this part also. When you get to that measurement, we are going to do the front panel of the other side. So as you can see here, I have 10.5 inches and my last row is going downwards. So when you get to the measurement that you need here, after you made your last row of the back panel like this, you are going to count the same number of stitches again that we skipped from this part while making the back panel. So I made 18 stitches for this part, so 19 chains. You count the same number of stitches. Okay, you simply count from here. If you having any doubts counting from this side, simply count from this one. This will be your first stitch. Okay, count the number of stitches you skipped in here and put a marker on the last stitch from the side. So you will start your round as usual with single crochet, and then you are going to do the half double crochet here the same way that we did when we start this back panel. Okay, so your last stitch here through both the loops, and I skipped 18 stitches from here, so 18 stitches here. So I'm going to make 19 chains. The last chain will be my turning chain. So you also make your chain 1 2 3 4 5 6, and again you skip your first stitch and into the next stitch, half double crochet, and then half double crochet into each chain through the back bump only, and make your last one. In here just insert your hook through that. You do not need to work the back bump for this last one here. And this is the first row of our other front panel. Okay, so here for the front panel, unlike the back, okay, you do not need to count for the back. So for the front here, you will need to count how many stitches you have in this part of the shoulder here. Sorry, how many rows. So here I have 1 2 3. So each rib here consists of 2 rows. So I have 7 rows here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 rows, and after 7 rows we are going to make a decrease from this side. From this one side here we did an increase to give shape to this neckline. From this other side we are going to do a decrease. So make the same number of rows as the ones that you have in here. So after 6 rows here, or whichever row you have, if you use a different type of yarn, okay, after that I'll show you what to do. And when you completed this 7 rows here, or whichever number of rows that you did, when you complete this part, it is time again you count the number of stitches that you made from this side. If you remember the chains that you made after your last increasing row here, so I made 8 chains for 7 half double crochet. So 1 2 3, so 7 half double crochet. So you count the number of half double crochet you have in this space here and keep a marker in the stitch. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and I'm marking the 7th one here. Okay, so you will start your row the same way as you always do for this, the same way you did this, and this is the 7th stitch. Okay, so you will have the last 3 stitches here. We are going to make a decrease because we made an increase with 3 half double crochet, so we are going to decrease with 3 half double crochet itself. Okay, so here are the last 3 stitches before the stitch marker. So you are going to take your yarn, the back loop only of the first stitch, the second stitch, and the last stitch I'll take through both the loops. I'll insert my hook and put up a loop, and then you will close this as 1 half double crochet. So I'll chain 2 because I chained 2 while increasing the other side, so I'm doing the same thing. And this is your first decreasing row, which is the opposite of your last increasing row here. And then if you like, you can keep a marker on each row. Okay, so now we are working the second row. So I have only 3 rows here increases, and I will have the same number of rows from this side with decreases. Okay, so the first one, second, third, and close as 1 half double crochet, and you continue to work half double crochet back loop and single crochet back loop again and complete the row. So this one will be my last decreasing row here. So here are my last 3 stitches, the one here between the chain, 1, 2 and 3. So you'll take your yarn back loop only, and last one through both the loops and close as one half double crochet. So I'll chain 2, and we work one row here without increase, which is the first row, or the chainless half double crochet. So work one row of half double crochet without any decrease or increase in this part, okay? And don't cut your yarn just yet. And when you made your last row here, if you count the number of half double crochet you have in this last row and the half double crochets that you have in this first row, they should be equal in number if you're not making any mistakes. So secure your yarn so it won't come off. So now put these parts together like that, and take another piece of yarn, make a slip knot, choose your right side. Which side do you want to be your right side of the cardigan? Okay, I choose this to be my right side, and I'm turning it the other way like this. And we are going to join with single crochets on this shoulder part here. Sorry. So I have 7 rows here, 1, 2, 3 and this half. So 1, 2, 3 and the half is here. So do that, insert your hook right here and make chain 1, and insert your hook into each space that you get in here and make single crochet to join these parts. And you do the same thing on both the shoulder parts, okay? I'm not counting how many single crochets I'm doing here. I'll just insert my hook into any stitch that I get and join. And do the same thing from the other side. Cut your yarn, and you can use your needle to weave in your ends. So turn your cardigan onto the right side. And do this part again. So I'm chaining 6 for the ribbing here. I'll chain 6 for 5 single crochet. So I don't want this to be too wide. So just 6 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and single crochet back bump only. And the 5th one here, and you leave this one stitch. Into the next stitch you make a slip stitch to attach this part to the cardigan. So you are going to turn like that, and when you turn you can see this space here, and this one is your first stitch, not this part here, okay? This is just the join that you made with your slip stitch. So back loop only, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one through both the loops. So I'll chain 1 and then the first one through both the loops, and I'm going to make back loop only for the remaining 4. So 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one here, and you are going to leave this one stitch and slip stitch into this next stitch. So you will have one stitch unworked between the two slip stitch, this one is slip stitch, this one slip stitch, and this stitch here you're not working on that, so just slip stitch and turn again, and this is your first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one through both the loops. So we are going to repeat this all across our cardigan, okay? And we are going to make our buttonholes from the other side. So when you are at the contour of the neck from the other side, we are going to work our buttonhole here. So you will start your row as usual. So work your first single crochet, and I'm using a button, so I will chain 2 and test chain 2 first, leave 2 stitches and work through both the loops on the 3rd one and complete the row. We're working through both the loops, so this will be secure, it won't be too much gap when you use the button later. So when you finish doing this, take the button that you are going to use and slide it through this buttonhole to see if it fits or not. If it slides easily, then go ahead and continue the rows as usual, and if you still think that it's too small, you can add more chains, or if it's too big, just add 1 chain and do the same thing like we do here. So for me 2 will be enough, so I'm chaining 1 and turn, and then I will complete the row the same way we did the other rows. So then you have back loop, and for this one also I'll have back loop, 4 and 5th one also back loop here, and leave 1 stitch attached to the, like that. So I'm making my next buttonhole after 5 or 6 ribs like this. So first you are going to continue working the same, and when you need to work your other buttonhole, you do the same thing that you do here. So here is my first buttonhole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5 ribs or 5 ribbing, so you are going to do the same thing again. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches and work through both the loops and complete your row like that. And this is how you are going to repeat until the end of your row in here. This is my last row. So if you have a row that ends this side, just work 1 row with slip stitches to get to this main part of the cardigan, okay, and cut your yarn. And now it's time for the sleeves, and for the sleeves you need to count the number of your stitches or your half double crochet that you made on your first sleeve panel, okay, because you need to have the same number of stitches on both your sleeves. And for the main part of the cardigan, it starts to look beautiful. So this is how I made my sleeve panel. One row with, for this part, one row with single crochet and one row with slip stitches, so you'll have two sides. And we will start the same way with half double crochet, the way we start our cardigan, with chainless foundation. But when you already made your first sleeve panel, you need to count the number of stitches for the second sleeve panel. Okay, and for the sleeves here, you are going to need to take the measurement of the child that you are making this for. Okay, so for this one here will be for 2 to 3 year old girl. I'm going to need it to be at least 25 or 26 centimeters from this to the wrist. Okay, from this part to the wrist, or if you need it longer, you can add more half double crochets to your foundation row. So for me, I made this with 32 half double crochet and 6 chain for 5 single crochets and slip stitches here. So you will do the same thing, make chain 2 and work your half double crochet until you are close to the measurement that you need. So this is the measurement of my sleeve. It measures about 25 centimeters. As you can see here. And then for the ribbing, if you like a longer ribbing, you can add more chains. I will add 7. Let's count this first. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I made 6 slip stitches from the other side for the other sleeve panel. So I'm making 7 chains here. After you get to the length with your half double crochet, you add the chain here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. And when you go down, you will need to work with your slip stitches. And when we go up, by going up I mean from this to the main part of the sleeve. So when we go up, we are going to use single crochet. So into your second chain, back bump only, you make single crochet. So I'm going to have 6. That's 2 3 4 5, and the 6th one just insert here, and that's your 6 half single crochet. And for this part, work half double crochet the same way you did on your main part of the cardigan. Okay, back loop only, chain 2, turn and back loop only into each stitch, or you can make through both the loops also for the first stitch here. Do what you prefer, through both the loops or back loop only, it works the same. So until you are here, you can see the difference between your half double crochet and single crochet, the same way we did for the cardigan. So after you made your last half double crochet here, so when we go down, please remember to work on your slip stitches. Don't make your slip stitches too tight. So that's 1. You will have the same number as your single crochet, so that's 2 3 4 5, and the last one through both the loops here, chain 1, and we go up again by working single crochet back loop only. 1 2 3 4 5 6, and continue with half double crochet back loop only. You'll have something like this. So remember, when you go up, single crochet, when you go down, slip stitches, and this is what you are going to repeat until you have a fabric like this one. When you fold this in half, you will need to have the measurement of this. It will look like a tube when you join it together. So this measurement of this should be equal to the size of your armhole in here. So do that and See, it fits like that. You don't need to stretch it too much, just like that. And when you get to the same measurement, you can stop working on your sleeve panel. And if you can, it's easier to join when you have your rows in even number like this one. So I have an even number row here, so if it's possible you can have it even number. So if not, that is not possible, then if you already get the measurement before you have your even number row, it's okay if you have it in odd number also. So I cut my yarn because this is my first panel. So for the second panel, you cannot just continue working by joining your panel together. So do this, and from the other end, when you get to the size that you need, okay, just continue working and join with single crochets or slip stitches, chain 1, and just insert your hook from the second stitch here to the second stitch of the other end. And you can either join with slip stitches or single crochets, how you prefer. Okay, I'll do with slip stitch. Don't make your slip stitches too tight in case you need to stretch the sleeve like that. You can join with single crochets also if you're having trouble working with slip stitches like this. So continue. Here you can take the front loop from this side and join from the other side. Front loop and just insert like that. Front loop, and from the other end I'm taking both the loop. Like that. And for the last one, make it through both the loops from both sides. And cut your yarn, so you can use your needle now to weave in your ends. Don't cut your yarn without weaving your ends, okay? So turn this sleeve from the right side. Like that. And put this against your armhole. So if you need, you can place a marker or safety pin just to keep it in place. Okay, like that. And from the inside, do that. Make a slip knot. And insert your hook into one of the stitches in the underarm. And here you can join with single crochets. That, okay. So you'll have the next stitch here, insert there, and like that. So if you can't, you can go into the stitches, and if not, just go in between your half double crochets like that. So I'm going in between the half double crochet, just like that, and you are going to work around the sleeve until you are in this part again. And when you are here, join with a slip stitch on your first stitch, cut your yarn again and secure, and you'll have one sleeve done. And you can do the same with your other sleeve. So when you finish like this, you can add your buttons, and if you like your cardigan to be just like this, you can leave it like that. And if you like to add some flowers, I'll show you how to crochet one. So I'll use this contrasting color. Okay, it's a smaller yarn and hook size, and if you want to use the same way, you can do that too. So you will start by making chain 3, 1 2 3, join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and in this ring here make 5 single crochets for a smaller flower. And if you like to have a bigger flower or many petals, then you can add more single crochet into this little ring here. So that's 1, and then 2 3 4 5. Okay, I'm making 6. So join into the first stitch, and you are going to chain 3, 1 2 3. So I'm making, because it is a smaller yarn and hook size, I'm making it into the treble crochet, so into the same stitch. So you release 2 loops, you release 2 loops and hold. So if you're using this type of yarn, just work with double crochet. 2 2, and I'm making 4 of this. So I have 4 treble crochet, and you can close all and chain 3 again. 1 2 3, and into the same stitch that you made this treble crochet, slip stitch like that, and slip stitch into the next stitch. You chain 3 again, and we repeat the same like this one with 4 treble crochet. You are on this space, leave that loop like that, and into the next stitch here, which is the one that you made your first petal, take the loop into the back side of this flower and cut your yarn not too short, because you are going to use the same yarn or the same tail to sew the flower into the cardigan. And secure here like that. Okay, so you can make as many as you like to put on your cardigan. So when you sew your flower, okay, so you can place the flower wherever you like. So I'm placing it right here. Insert your hook, sorry, insert your needle. Don't pull too tight. Don't pull too tight, because if you pull too tight, your fabric will have like wrinkle or something. So if you feel the need, you can go as many rounds as you like. So I'll just go like that, take from the back side, and you'll have something like this. And as you can see, my fabric is not wrinkled or crinkled. So you just close the loop here, wrap the yarn around your needle and pull. And this is how you weave in your ends using your needle. Okay, you take the yarn back and forth a few times, and then you can cut the yarn. And in this way, when you wash your clothes, your clothings like this, the ends won't come off. So like that. And okay, this is just to show you, so I'm adding more flowers later. And first I'll finish this sleeve. So if you like my cardigan or what you think about my video, please let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.